Hey there, everyone. Mazarok here, and I am standing in front of the new raid, Amir Drasil, The Dreams Hope for 10.2. We are less than 24 hours in this PTR, and we already have raid information and also raid loot, which is what I'm really excited about and what we're going to be talking about today in the topic of today's video. So we're going to be going over the weapons, some of the mogs, some of the unique abilities, the trinkets, and things like that. I'm gonna be viewing this mostly through the the perspective of a tank. I'm a tank main. It's what I am. We are gonna be looking at everything, but obviously I'm a little bit more adept at looking at tank stuff and being like, oh, that could be really good, right? But so yeah, please do like, comment, subscribe. With such a long way towards helping out the channel. This was an early access video for my patrons, so if you are looking for early access stuff or just want to support small content creators, check out the Patreon link down below. There's a Twitch down and Discord as well. Come on by, hang out, have a good time. Let's just get into the meat of the content. So we're going to be doing this boss by boss, and I do have the gear filter set to all classes, and I have the mogs set to mythic, and the stats as well. Now, quick disclaimer here, I've gone over and looked over all of these on Raid Finder, normal, heroic, and there's some definite reasons to be going into Raid Finder and normal. If you kind of skip those, yeah, I usually don't do Raid Finder. Like, I just don't do LFR. I just don't care. The Mog is never really that banger or anything. But yeah, I am 100% going to be doing that here. Oh, I just realized my camera's on the other side from the Druid camera section, so just give me one quick minute and I will fix that. All right, here we go. We're back. And the magic of editing. All right, so the first boss is called Gnarlroot, and he drops a two-handed mace, which I want this so bad. Like Fury Warrior with these two maces, and you're gonna see on the Mythic version, everything has the Shadow Flame effect, and oh, this just looks so gorgeous. There's the two-handed staff right here with the rotating ball thing. I don't know. This shield, which, oh, come on. Like, look at like, this is just so good. There is a trinket here as well. We're not going to be going over every piece of loot. This is mainly weapons and trinkets, right? Or offhands and things like that. We have the Branch of the Tormented Ancient. So, on use, you summon 6 roots to draw on their power for 15 seconds, slowing you by 10% per root. So that is a 60% slow. Your next 6 melee abilities each sever a root, dealing a lot of additional Shadow Flame damage split between nearby enemies. Yeah, that's not a small amount. Not a small amount. That's actually quite a bit. The 60% root's going to be pretty bad, though, so we'll have to see how this works out. But it is an interesting trinket that's going to do a lot of damage. And as you've seen in Season 1, we were running from time to time a trinket that immobilized us, so maybe we use it. A one-handed Agi axe, which, I mean, look at the model on that. That is just absolutely gorgeous. There is a cruel dagger here. This is agility. Look at that. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And then for trinkets, we have the Bandolier of Twisted Blades. So, on use, you plunge the twisted blades into your target, dealing physical damage. After 3 seconds, the blades ignite with Shadow Flame and return to you, dealing a lot of Shadow Flame damage split between the target and all enemies within its path. Now, this is actually going to be kind of difficult to use for tanks, because you're going to want to use this on an enemy that is stationary, like a caster, and like not kick and not move, and put all of the enemies between you and it on it coming back. So this might be a little bit difficult for tanks to use and easier for DPS to use, but an interesting trinket nonetheless. And then we have this one-handed strength sword, which, I'm sorry, like, look at that. Like, why am I saying sorry? This is gorgeous. It's a little thin, but I really, really like it. And, of course, if you pair it with the shield, oh, man, looks good. We have this two-handed, like, gun. I mean, look, I don't have many reasons to want to play Hunter ever, but this gun is kind of one of them. Like, that's a good looking gun. That might just be me. And here we do, so it's not fully populated yet, so we do have to kind of keep here. Here we have retrieving item information, which means that it's not loaded or, something like that. One-handed dagger again. We have this one-handed fist weapon. Now, this is agility fist weapon, obviously, but this is there is an effect on this, right? So this is base haste verse. Equip and your damage melee abilities have a low chance to inflict Thorn Spirit, which deals nature damage over 15 seconds using damaging melee abilities against a target with Thorn Spirit inflicts additional nature damage split between all enemies within 15 yards. So this is this primarily how I read this is you are going to this is going to proc on a mob that you're going to hit, and then you're going to want to hard focus that mob to really make sure that the thorns all split out from there, right? So you're not going to be wanting to, like, when this procs, you're going to want to hard focus that one. But an interesting ability nonetheless. We have this offhand right here as well. I've always found offhands to be a little weak, but whatever. We have a couple of trinkets here. We have the Gift of Urktos. This is a versatility-based trinket. Taking damage from nearby enemies causes you to counterattack for damage and gain 1 stack of Rising Rage, granting 16 strength and up to 30 times. Now, I'm going to have to check if this is also agility. I'm going to assume this is like agility. I think this is just a tank trinket. At 30 stacks of Rising Rage, gain the Fury of Urktos for 8 seconds before consuming them, counterattacking all blows and regenerating health every 1 second. Now, this is not on use. This is just straight up something that happens, which is a nice strength gain. I'm actually really interested in this trinket. I'm not going to lie. As a tank trinket, I think this one's kind of well designed. We gain a stacking primary stat bonus. And it seems like it's every 3 seconds. So at 30, this is about a minute and a half trinket, right? Constant caveat, you're in constant combat, and you're constantly taking damage. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like this. We're gonna have to see how it performs, but yeah, I actually kind of like this for a tank trinket and how it's designed. I like it. Then we have Pip's Emerald Friendship Badge. This is an interesting one. Join the Dream Team. Now, number one, you're starting a trinket description with join the Dream Team. Love it. Gaining 280 of Pip's Mastery, Urktos' versatility, or Airwinds, I might be pronouncing that wrong, critical strike based on your current best friend. Your spells and abilities have a chance to tag in the next best friend, granting you their passive bonus and empowering it up to a lot more. So while this is purely random, you are going to gain a lot of either mastery, versatility, or critical strike. So quite possible, and on a 12-second buff, could be pretty good while constantly gaining a small amount of that and varying. Now there is some RNG to this, so we're going to see how it kind of how it works out. But immediately reading this to me sounds like it would actually be pretty good for Brewmaster, because there's no haste on this at all, right? You're either gaining versatility, critical strike, or mastery. Something that, Brewmaster just likes all three. You'd rather have the crit or verse, but if you gain the mastery, you're really not that sad about it, right? Not if you there's a lot of these trinkets that are always haste-based, which for Brewmaster doesn't really work that well. So, not bad. And interesting trinket options there for sure. And that's the Council of Dreams, so that's on the council-based fight. Then we have this two-handed polearm, which, by the way, oh man, look at that. We're getting a sight. Look at the Shadow Flame effect. Oh, sexy. One-handed sword. Now, this is an intellect one-handed sword, but I'm going to have to farm this somehow, because look at that. That is just gorgeous. Then we have this Smoldering Treant Seedling. This is a haste-based trinket, so instead of primary stat, it's haste. You replant the seedling and attempt to put out its flames for 12 seconds, healing the seed. So this is a healing trinket. Interesting. Okay. I went through a lot of these, but I didn't see every single one. So some of these are going to be new to me. Healing the seedling also heals up to 0. I'm assuming that's more allies for the same amount. Split evenly. Healing is increased for each ally until X amount of additional healing is provided. If the seedling is still alive after 12 seconds, you receive intellect. Ooh, okay. 2-minute cooldown. That's actually a really interesting healing trinket. I don't know how good that's going to be, but it's interesting. So you can gain a primary stat buff if you keep this trinket alive, and it's going to heal a bunch. Interesting. I kind of like that. That plays well instead of just a hit button, something happens, right? Oh, I'm in for that. I like it. I've been healing a lot lately. That's actually kind of cool. And then we have this Secondary shield with the big shadow flame. I'm not sure if I like the first one and the second one better, but you know, whatever. I do like the models of both of them, so I'm not crying at all. Now this is an intellect-based trinket, which is Nemu's. I'm gonna assume it's Nemu's. I could be very, very wrong there. Vengeful Spindle. Equip. Summon a wisp every 3 seconds that seeks out a nearby enemy to apply Weaver's Scorn, stacking up to 5 times and dealing nature damage before fading away. Wisps prioritize enemies that have yet to be scorned. Use. Channel for 2.5 seconds, reclaiming the essence of all scorned enemies to grant you mastery per stack consumed up to 5 stacks and dealing a bunch of nature damage split between them. This is on a 2-minute cooldown. I have a feeling things like Boomies, Warlocks, like Affliction would really like this. Really, really dope. But we do have a very rare item right here. Now, there is no effect on this for this to be very rare. So we're going to have to take a look at that and see what happens. Right now, this is just a usually very rare stuff has something attached to it for what we want, like, you know, a cool effect or whatever. This just is straight up a weapon, so we're gonna have to take a look at this and see what makes this more powerful than everything else. Oh, I think I know. That is an actual boatload of intellect. So if we look at this two-hander here, that's 863 strength, and like this one. Okay, no. So intellect, it just works different from strength and agi. So my brain was just not seeing it right. So we're gonna have to see what that is. Yeah. Okay. That's weird. We have this two-handed strength sword, which, come on, bye. Yeah, come on. Warglaves! This is a dope-looking Warglaive. I'm really, really happy to see this. Then we have the Trinket, the Ashes of the Ember Soul. Haste-based Trinket. Draw power from the remnants of the Ember Soul, gaining strength for 20 seconds, decaying every 3 seconds. Once this effect ends, become burned out. You lose... Oh, that's a... You lose the amount of haste that's on the Trinket for 60 seconds before recovering. But you do gain a big bonus. I'm not sure tanks are going to really want to lose that haste. When circumstances are dire, your soul ignites, granting this bonus again without decaying. This effect may only occur once per combat. Oh, is this like a cheat death? When circumstances are dire, your soul ignites, granting this bonus again without decaying. Is this like a pseudo cheat death? Oh, we're going to have to play around with this. This is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I didn't see that on the trinket vendor when I was looking at it yesterday. The Infernal Signet Brand. Strength and agility. Your attacks and abilities have a chance to viciously brand your target, dealing fire damage over 6 seconds, granting you fire starter, stacking up to 15 times. Damage increase per stack up to a maximum of X amount, 182,000. Numbers are always subject to change. While above 5 stacks, this also deals 50% of its damage to you. There are some Kiss Curse trinkets in this raid coming up. So we're going to have to see how that works out. And healers, well, we're sorry. At 15 stacks, enemies near your target suffer 10% of the damage split between them. Fire starter decays every 5 seconds while put out of combat. Fades entirely after 15 seconds. So interesting trinket here. A little bit of a Kiss Curse, but a lot of damage to be gained from that. So interesting to see how that one's going to work out. Then we have this two-handed staff right here, which looks pretty dope. This is an int two-hander. We have this dagger right here. Now, this is an agi dagger. That is big. That is good. I like this. This is that. Yeah, gimme. Then we have a bow. Bow design, I think, is kind of it looks good. Cool. We have an intellect-based trinket, Belorellos' Sunstone. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Could be totally wrong. Unleash a solar maelstrom, slowing yourself and nearby enemies before erupting in flames after 2 seconds to deal quite a bit of fire damage split between all enemies and fire damage to you for 12 seconds. Castable while moving, but you're slowed. Damage increase per enemy struck up to 5. 2-minute cooldown. So this looks like it's like a Kiss Curse Beacon. That's gonna be fun. There's a lot of Kiss Curse here. This is the healers, man. If I were you guys, I'd probably be getting ready to pull your hair out. Alright, but we do have a lot of stuff. So you may have heard that in the raid there is a new legendary. It's a two-handed axe, and we don't have any information on that yet. But Farak does drop purple effect items for pretty much every spec in the game, I think, that can kind of use everything. So we're going to start off with this two-handed agi staff, which is, oh man, like, gorgeous. So this is agility staff. Your abilities have a chance of drawing corruption within, dealing an additional shadow flame damage to you and your target. Now again, Kiss Curse, and the damage is increased by 400% against targets above 90% health. Ooh. Kiss Curse, but here we go. The axe as well. So the axe is the same model as the other one. Now this is placeholder, so that don't necessarily look at the looks of these. And all of these actually do have the same effect. The one-handed intellect and the one-handed axe all have the same thing. So I just noticed the placeholder now. So while these look gorgeous, we're gonna have to wait to see what they actually look like. Or if the abilities change, but so far this is what we got. So we do have an idea of what these do, which is just nice. You're going to deal more damage. You're going to take a little bit more damage yourself. But yeah, lots of good stuff to be had there. But we do have some trinkets. So we have the Augury of the Primal Flame. Critical strike base trinket. Your spells and abilities have a low chance to grant annihilating flame for 30 seconds, causing your critical strikes to deal 30% additional damage as fire damage, split between enemies. The flame fades after dealing a total amount of additional damage. Now, this is one that I actually did do some testing on, and I don't know what's going on with this trinket. Numbers still obviously need to be tuned or worked around, or bugs need to be fixed, because I would do a pull at like 250k overall on my Prot Warrior, and it would deal like 30% of my damage, and then it might just be a details reading, but this is a pretty decent trinket, and I think this is something that's going to be sought after. So I don't know if this is actually going to deal a total boatload or what the low chance is, but something like Brewmaster as well, like, you know, your spells and abilities have a low chance, causing your critical strikes. You know, as long as you're running enough crit to make this work worthwhile, it could be really, really good. Then we have the Blossom of Amir Drasil. Now, this is an intellect-based trinket, a healing trinket by the looks of it, because, healing an ally. Whew. Below 85% health grants them Blossom of Amir Drasil, healing them for X amount over 6 seconds. This effect may occur only once per minute. If the target is fully healed when this effect fully expires, the Blossom spreads to 3 injured allies to heal them for a dot. So if the target is not fully healed, the Blossom is an absorb instead. This trinket seems super dope. This is a dope healing trinket. I like this one. Like, yeah. You can play around it however you want. You know, you can set up for a tank buster. You can get some AoE healing going on. I like this. It's nice. And then the Tainted Rageheart, agility and strength-based trinket. Equip. Deal Shadow Flame damage to you and nearby enemies every 3 seconds while in combat. Yeah, like I said, these are these are interesting. Give in to the Rageheart, absorbing damage, but suffering. So on the mythic version here, you suffer 360k damage, but you absorb 360k damage, but you suffer 30k shadow flame damage and lashing out at nearby enemies 1 second to deal 30k shadow damage, split among them between nearby enemies. So this is a tank trinket by the looks of it. So this is a DPS trinket, this is a healing trinket, this is a DPS trinket. This is a tank trinket. So DPS, heal, tank. Okay. I mean, this could be a tank trinket. So here, if we gear filter for prot here, yeah, the Tainted Rageheart is considered a tank trinket. And then, that's the easy way to go about it, right? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. That is a sizable absorb. So, like, I mean, right now we're sitting at about 1 million health. We'll probably end up around 1.3, 1.2 kind of as warrior. Now, this is, back of the envelope, pre-coffee math. I have had some coffee, just not enough. I've been recording videos all morning. So, very interesting. And I like the fact that, so Farak is going to be a very desired kill, by the way. Like, a very desired kill. Tank, healer, and DPS all have what I assume is going to be a desired trinket, depending on the Kiss Curse effect, and kind of how that works. So we'll see about that. We'll see about that. See, at least with the Tainted Rage Heart, I'm thinking it's a tank, right? So it deals 2100 Shadow Flame damage to you and nearby enemies every 3 seconds. That's really not a lot, especially when you consider our health. Like, it's really not a lot. And the on use to gain the big absorb. This could be an interesting trinket. Like, this could be pretty interesting, right? So lots of good stuff to be looking at there. No legendary news yet. It is a two-handed axe. I think it's a two-handed strength axe, if I'm not mistaken, but we could be wrong. What do you think about the new loot from the new raid? We're also going to be going over some Mythic Plus stuff when we start getting Mythic Plus information on what some of the stats are going to detail for Mythic Plus and kind of how they're going to change the loot around. Because I know in Legion dungeons they sometimes add weapons, WoD dungeons and Cataclysm dungeons they remove the rings and all a bunch of stuff. So we're going to wait to kind of see what the Adventure Journal has when it's updated there. But I will be doing a video on that when it comes around. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Have yourself a good one. Happy tanking.